In this video we are going to take a closer look at the Indomitor Kill Team of the Deathwatch and how it plays in 10th edition now that we got our second release of the index. In the first part, we will go through all the relevant rules and datasheets available to this kill team. In the second part, we will then look at how to potentially use it in 10th edition. Lastly, there will be some modeling recommendations and a quick wrap-up of what has been covered. This is the second release of a 4-part series, with each part covering one of the different kill teams available to the Deathwatch.
Welcome to SwissHammer, your channel for modeling in Warhammer 40k. My name is Tammer and I will be guiding you through this video.
Diving right into the datasheet, while the Indomitor Kill Team has undergone significant changes since its first iteration in 10th edition, this remains the dedicated SwissHammer kill team, with the unit composition now allowing 3 to 10 kill team Heavy Intercessors, 0 to 3 Heavy Intercessors with Power Fists, which are the equivalent of Aggressors, as well as 0 to 3 Heavy Intercessors with Melta Rifles, which are the equivalent of Eradicators. Note that Inceptors are now absent from this kill team, as these have been incorporated in the new entry dedicated to jump back units, which is the Talon Strike kill team. For a full coverage, the link to the guide is in the description. Returning to unit composition, what further stands out here is that by dropping the 5-man versions, the minimum number of Heavy Intercessors has now been lowered to 3, but given the model limits to both Aggressors and Eradicators, the actual minimum will always end up being 4. Then moving on to abilities, here the Indomitor doctrines have also been changed when compared to the old index. Each time a model in this unit makes a ranged attack that targets the closest eligible target, or makes a melee attack in a turn in which it made a charge move, improve the strength characteristic of that attack by 2. This is a significant upgrade over the old version, and even though one might lean towards the ranged playstyle with this one, the melee potential is by no means to be underestimated depending on actual unit composition. We will return to this in a moment. Moving on to the war gear options, Aggressors can freely choose between Flame or Boltstorm, nothing new there. The Eradicators get to carry one multi-melta, and perhaps most importantly, Heavy Intercessors can get one Deathwatch Heavy Bolter for every 5 models, and as we are running at 10 models anyway, this means regardless of the amount of Heavy Intercessors, 2 Heavy Bolters are possible. And while in previous iterations the Heavy Intercessors were pretty much just ablative wounds, it needs to be said that GW pulled quite a surprise move and introduced Deathwatch versions of the Heavy Bolt Rifle as well as the Heavy Bolter, which drastically improved their viability, especially with the Doctrine's ability, as well as the option for using special issue ammunition on all weapons again in mind. As a viewer rightfully pointed out on my initial index review, a Deathwatch Heavy Bolter at flat damage 3 is really strong, and as previously mentioned, we can take 2 of them, so Heavy Intercessors can no longer be considered as some sort of mandatory tax to run in this kill team. Then finally, on leader options, this kill team follows the rules of the Heavy Intercessor squad, which means a captain in SwissHammer and or an apothecary biologist can be attached to this kill team. Furthermore, an argument can be made that because whatever can be attached to a Heavy Intercessor squad can also be attached to an Indomitor Kill Team, and Heavy Intercessors are battle line and therefore can attach an Inquisitor, the same can also be done for this kill team. Personally, I consider this a sound argument, but as always, I recommend to double check this with your TO in a competitive setting. Especially when playing double Indomitor Kill Teams, or another kill team already including a captain, having for instance Inquisitor Draxus or just a regular Inquisitor attached are sound picks. Either way, no issues with mixed toughness here, as the Gravis boys will easily make the majority. With the basic rules out of the way, how can we best make use of the Indomitor Kill Team in the Deathwatch? Well, the good news is that while the Indomitor Kill Team has not been bad before, it has now gotten just plain better in all regards. Back when I did my original Indomitor Kill Team guide for 10th edition, I pointed out that I would have liked to see the unit size of the additional datasheets increased from max 2 to max 3, and GW has not only done that, but by giving the Heavy Intercessors decent guns thanks to both boosted stats and rules interactions, no single unit in this kill team can be considered as a bad pick. A while ago, I did a dedicated points review for all our kill teams. If you have not checked this out yet, the link is in the description. The short version here is that depending on the role of this kill team in any given list, anything from 3 Aggressors and 3 Eradicators together with 4 Heavy Intercessors to running 7 Heavy Intercessors with 3 of either of the others is perfectly viable, and the points check out for any such combination as well. It cannot be stressed enough how this is a very good position to be in, and one can only pray to the God Emperor that this kill team will continue to be able to do that as the edition continues. Anyway, to conclude this, regardless of actual unit composition, the 2 Deathwatch heavy bolters for the Heavy Intercessors, as well as the multi-melta for an Eradicator if you bring one, are considered to be mandatory here. That said, because the Gravis boys are slow, this kill team makes for an excellent target for our amazing teleportarian stratagem, and it makes a lot of sense to attach a Gravis captain for just this case, and the second target could then be a Talon Strike kill team that for instance has some leader issues for a time being, or just another Indomitor kill team with no leader, or an Inquisitor in case the rules have been sorted out in favor of doing that. Furthermore, special issue ammunition is also a good one for this kill team, and this would favor both Boltstorm Aggressors in case they are included, as well as a Gravis captain with a mastercrafted heavy bolt rifle, which the most recent balanced data slate has also boosted to flat damage free. Don't sleep on that one. That said, I personally think that this kill team can also run with a more hybrid playstyle, in which case we definitely need the 3 Aggressors, perhaps even with Flamestorm, and the Gravis captain with Thief of Secrets remains an incredibly strong pick if we plan on ending up with some extra melee punch. On the flip side of things, I think the biggest issue of this kill team remains the lack of being able to obtain an invul save, so if an opposing list is tailored towards taking out Gravis, this kill team might melt faster than it might first appear. Good positioning here is important, and I think the option to teleport, or with rules in our favor to attach Inquisitor Draxus, and then just keep max range with Kraken rounds, are viable ways to counter this. Personally, I think it would be fantastic if we would get more Gravis leader options at some point, preferably with some defensive benefits. Then last but not least, let's have a look at some modeling recommendations. As it currently stands, I think that we are in the fortunate position where all the datasheets involved are competitive in an Indomitor kill team, and as such, we will want to have a minimum of 7 Heavy Intercessors, 3 Aggressors and 3 Eradicators. Furthermore, I also think that GW has managed to balance Aggressor loadout somewhat reasonably, but if anything, 9th edition has demonstrated perfectly how this can change over the course of an edition. As such, it should come as no surprise that I recommend magnetizing all loadouts for all the models involved. Fun fact, Heavy Intercessors and Eradicators are sharing the exact same Gravis body, meaning we can repurpose some spare bodies for one or the other, as their original boxes come with more guns than actual bodies. For each of these models, I have also released a more detailed magnetizing guide back in 9th edition, which still applies. The links are in the description. To wrap things up, over the course of the video, we have looked at the Indomitor Kill Team in the new Grotmas index for the Deathwatch. The great news here is that this kill team has been improved beyond at least my wildest imaginations, with both Aggressor and Eradicator limits increased from 2 to 3, I almost want to claim credit for that, and Heavy Intercessors actually getting good guns that promote them past simple ablative wounds like before. As a result, multiple unit compositions can be considered viable, and that means a lot for kill teams in 10th edition. Furthermore, the Indomitor Doctrines is really strong now as well, making this one of the most competitive, if not the most competitive entry among our named kill teams. Due to the slow nature of Gravis armor, this kill team highly benefits from the Teleportarium stratagem, and adding some additional range through Kraken rounds also synergizes very well. This makes the Gravis captain close to auto-include, or at least having access to a captain somewhere else, and using the Indomitor as the second stratagem target. Furthermore, while currently a bit controversial, an alternative would be to add Lord Inquisitor Kira Draxus instead, which could shroud the unit from ranged fire, but the rules on this are currently not clear, and I would personally recommend waiting for the FAQ if that ever comes, or have it cleared by the TO. As always, I highly recommend magnetizing all loadouts, as we are currently spoiled for choice when it comes to using these models involved. So that's it for the guide to the Indomitor Kill Team of the Deathwatch in 10th edition. What do you guys think about this particular kill team, and are you planning to include it into your current lists? Did GW do a good job rebalancing war gear and abilities? Any important rules or tactics that I missed? Let me know in the comments. Then finally, if you made it this far and I still have your attention, if you like my content, any additional support is greatly appreciated, as it helps me invest into future videos. For that, I have both a Ko-fi as well as a Patreon page, links are in the description. Furthermore, I would also like to mention that there is a SwissHammer Facebook page where I will be posting links to my videos as well as articles I find of interest. I do read a lot about the hobby, but not all of it will always end up as its own video. I look forward to seeing you there as well. As always, thank you very much for watching, guys. Your continued support is greatly appreciated. I hope you have been enjoying this video, give me a thumbs up if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks again and see you next time.